Hey everyone, Daniel here from Next Level Life, and today I'm going to be talking about the 4 styles of communication, as well as their strengths and weaknesses, and I'll also be giving examples on how to tailor what you say to better resonate with the people of each of the communication styles. Now, we all use many styles of communication, of course, but most of us haven't spent much time thinking about which one we use the most and whether or not it's actually been effective for us. Have you ever had one of those moments in school or at a business meeting or even just talking to a friend when you can tell that their attention is somewhere else? Or maybe the person you're talking to is even impatiently tapping their fingers on the table or rolling their eyes. And that's extremely rude, so why do some people do it? Well, it's possible that the style of communication you were using at the time just wasn't right for that particular person or situation. And my hope is that after watching this video, you'll be able to better pinpoint why that may be, as well as have some ideas on how to fix it in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first style of communication is known as analytical communication. Analytical communicators generally like hard data and tend to be a little suspicious of people who don't have real numbers to back up their statements. For example, if someone from an analytical communicator's corporate office was giving a presentation and said something like, "Hey, sales are positive this quarter," the analytical communicator would be asking themselves questions such as, well, what exactly does positive mean? Is that 1%, 5%, 10%? Give me a number. So if you're talking to an analytical communicator, how can you best capture their attention? Simple. Phrase your thought in a way that best resonates with them. Instead of saying, "Hey, sales are positive this quarter," say something like, "Our sales figures have seen an 8% increase over the last quarter." Not only will that capture their attention, but it'll also cut out all that internal noise they experienced when asking themselves, "Hey, what does positive mean?" in that previous example. And as a result, they're much more likely to hear and remember whatever it is you say next. Analytical communicators also tend to avoid using emotional words in conversation. Again, they're very data-driven. On the plus side, these people are generally perceived to have high levels of informational intelligence, but on the downside, they can come off as a little bit cold, unfeeling, and almost robotic in some situations. So you may want to avoid using this style of communication when talking with people who tend to have a more personal style of communication. However, in situations such as a meeting to determine whether or not a certain product or marketing campaign is going well, this style would work out perfectly. The second style of communication is known as personal communication. And unlike analytical communicators, personal communicators tend to value emotional language, and they often try to use this language to build relationships with others and find out what they're really thinking, or perhaps more importantly, feeling. These communicators tend to be good listeners in addition to being good at smoothing over conflicts. And going back to that previous example of a member from the corporate office giving a presentation on recent sales trends, the personal communicator would be paying attention to their coworkers' reactions to what the speaker is saying, just as much, if not more so, than to what the speaker is actually saying themselves. So how can the speaker tailor their speech to better resonate with this listener? Simply add in some emotional language to your speech. Again, instead of saying, "Hey, sales are positive this quarter," and leaving it at that, smile and say something like, "Hey guys, you've really made me proud. Sales are positive this quarter, and that's the first time in 3 years we've done that. And it's all thanks to your guys' hard work. And I honestly don't really have any critiques that I can give you. You all did a fantastic job. So instead of me lecturing you for the next 20 minutes, I was wondering, could we make this presentation a little more interactive? I was wondering if any of you had ideas for the next quarter that you'd like to try out, or if there's anything that's been hindering you here at work that I can help you with." This not only makes the speaker sound more personal and inviting, but it also may boost the pride that the employees have in their work. And that effect of seeing your coworkers sitting up a little straighter, maybe even puffing out their chests as if to say, "Yeah, you darn right we did good," that'll definitely catch the personal communicator's attention, as well as make them feel a lot better about the work themselves. Because again, personal communicators are generally very relationship focused. They're great at listening, they're great at solving problems in a diplomatic manner, and sort of being that glue that holds the groups together. The potential downside of using this style of communication is it can come off as a little too touchy-feely in some situations, particularly when you're dealing with people who are analytical communicators. The third style of communication is intuitive communication. Intuitive communicators generally like to focus on the big picture. They avoid getting bogged down in details and cut right to the chase. In addition to that, intuitive communicators often don't talk in an orderly or step-by-step manner when explaining things. They may give you a few details or steps initially, but oftentimes they'll jump right to the final step or the ultimate goal of the process. The upsides and downsides to this style of communication are actually pretty obvious. On the plus side, these people are going to get right to the chase and they're going to get stuff done. They'll never spend hours trying to figure out every step of a process before starting it, and as a result, they generally procrastinate less. However, this tendency can sometimes lead to the person jumping into a situation that really does require you getting into the nitty-gritty details too quickly, and thus they fail to get the desired outcome as a result. Also, while these people tend to get a lot done, they often aren't the best teachers due to their tendency to skip steps in the process, which would only serve to confuse new workers. In my experience, though I can't speak for everyone here, this style of communication seems to be particularly popular among bosses. So it's important to understand how to best give them the information that they need in a way that resonates with them. For example, if you're giving a presentation to your boss who's primarily an intuitive communicator on the 5 recommendations you've come up with for, say, improving customer experience on your company's website, the last thing you'd want to do is to say something like this. Alright, my first recommendation is to revamp our sales funnel in order to take a consultative approach to the sales process. Instead, we should create 2 sales funnels, both distinct from each other, that will sort the customers based on their current familiarity with our products. Regular customers can go straight to the shopping cart, while first-time customers will be redirected to a custom FAQ page relating to the products they're looking at. My second recommendation is to employ customer service surveys and have constant communication between our customer service department and our tech team. And in the interest of time, I'm going to stop right there, because at this point, your boss's head is probably already exploding, and the speaker's only on the second recommendation. Thank God he only has 5, right? A better way to get this information to an intuitive communicator is to cut right to the chase like this. Hey boss, I have 5 recommendations to improve customer experience on our website. Number 1, take a consultative approach. Number 2, use customer surveys. Number 3, interview users. Number 4, implement responsive web design. And number 5, make it more social. Please tell me which one of the ideas you'd want to hear more about. It's actually quite amazing how much of a difference this simple act of changing how you phrase things makes. The boss that used to seem so impatient is suddenly responsive, and they start developing a sort of trust in you because you're showing them that you can deliver the results the boss wants in the way that they want it. And finally, the 4th style of communication is functional communication. Functional communicators are very different from intuitive communicators in the sense that they actually like going through the full process and thinking through each of the details in a step-by-step fashion. On the plus side, these people will generally not miss anything major when formulating or implementing plans, but they do tend to have a harder time holding people's attention, especially if the people are intuitive communicators, due to the functional communicator's somewhat long-winded style of communication. In the previous example about presenting 5 ideas to improve customer service on your company's website, the best way to present ideas to a functional communicator is to go through all the details of each idea. Going through the entire process of each idea will actually increase the functional communicator's comfort with whichever ideas they feel are good ones, and they'll be much more likely to follow through with them down the road. So which communication style do you use most? Let me know in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, as well as videos on how to be more productive and how to make money online. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.